trouble when you write a tell-all book is you have to be very careful what you tell all, because there's always somebody else to remember, isn't there? You know, the stories, that's the problem. It always happens. I mean, if you think about it, Joan Collins, Dame Joan Collins, has written around about 5 to 8 now autobiographies, all radically different, of course, from a very first publication way back when she was looking for work and needed a little bit of extra money for that book Past Imperfect. This was the pre-Dynasty years and just on the cusp of the stud. Remember that. Of course, Joan decided to be rather salacious, but different stories further down the line. It's a little bit like, of course, the former royal known as Prince Harry, the Duke of Sussex. His book Spare, just released over a year and a few months now. Well, at the time, everybody was kind of shocked. You know, there he was telling his truth. His truth, though, was radically different, as we found out, from many other aspects. As ever, let me explain. Morning, lovely to see you. Thank you so much for joining me. By the way, I'm glad so many of you enjoyed our lovely free matinee for this week. Yes, the cedar tree. Remember that? That was a blast from the past, wasn't it? Yeah, I knew you'd enjoy it, and thank you as ever for all those that took the time to watch it. It was kind of like, I felt, an afternoon version of Upstairs Downstairs, pre-Downton Abbey and that sort of stuff, but still engaging stories. What happened to those on television today? You know, everything's now 30-second, 20-second scenes. It's like we haven't got the attention span, isn't it? What do you mean you've dropped off? Now, keep up. You know, this is the problem. I'm the only one here doing any work. I expect you to be alert. Yes, you're part of the Chums, our wonderful friendship group. This is, come on. Anyway, back as ever to your royal story of the day. Now, it's always refreshing to find the true background story to these particular stories that emerged originally. Cast your mind back, you know, think about Prince Harry's book Spare. Remember, of course, we knew all about the Taliban stuff and the, shall we say, indiscretion with his very first lady love, who then came out and trashed him literally on television and in print, and rightly so. You know, he wasn't very nice to her, was he? But the biggest story, as everybody remembers, was the fact that apparently William and Catherine, that is, of course, the Prince and Princess of Wales, were devotees of the cable TV series Suits. And I told you at this time, I never truly understood how they discovered it, because nobody over here in the United Kingdom knew anything about Suits. It just wasn't that big and never really made it that big. Even now the BBC have bought it for peanuts. I'm not suggesting it's going to be any bigger. You get the picture. But what's interesting now, as ever, is this. Urged was, you know, in Harry's book, he claimed, of course, that William and Catherine were literally, they couldn't believe it. And he even used an expletive in the book when he said that this was the lady that he was dating, Meghan Markle, who played Rachel Zane in, as I say, the cable TV series Suits, or whatever platform you got it on. What truly has emerged, and I found this fascinating, and this is all because, of course, people that were working for and around those particular individuals at the time, was this, that when they first met, before, of course, they met Meghan, well, Harry was very kind enough to supply them with a DVD box set of Suits. So not to embarrass the duo when, of course, you know, being, as Harry might feel, something of a Hollywood star, she came in and they could claim that they knew, of course, about the series, as ever we have to say, allegedly. But that is the true version of events. They truly had no idea. But the DVD suffice, of course, gave them all the info that they required. And when you think about it from that side of the story, it's a bit like many things inside the book, isn't it? You know, the visa problem, the drug problem. Harry and Meghan have rewritten it. Now, I'm sure he was just being sort of frivolous and wanted to make sure that, of course, his wife came out of it in good standing, and who wouldn't want to do that? But the true story is, it was Harry actually that was kind enough to advance them so they knew exactly the sort of role she was playing. No doubt if they ever took time to watch the DVDs, they may have felt that there were certain scenes that they should have reached for the eject button, like many viewers did as the series went on. Neil Sean in the very heart of Yorkshire.